you know, and they think nobody knows how they move. I know how you move. And then you set up your fake accounts. You understand? And then they send you these bills, and then you thinking you paying stuff. No. So now they want me to pay a bill, or else they're gonna send it to the credit bureau that I already paid already, and I already gave in. It's all right not to like me. I understand. Y'all can't stand me. I understand that. But what is not okay is you going into my stuff to cause problems for me. You going into my stuff to cause problems for me. You're going into my accounts. You're doing stuff. You're hooking your account. All kinds of little stuff. You're not supposed to do that. I don't do that. I don't go in your house and mess with your house. I'll go for wherever I go back into my house. I don't try to steal your phones. I don't try to go into your bank accounts. But y'all do that to me and other people. And I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm going to keep pointing my fingers. So if you can't pay your doctor bill, I suggest you call Medicaid. I suggest you call the city and try to get that, as opposed to trying to find out my number from your friend and do that, because I'm gonna call my insurance and you're gonna be charged with fraud. And whatever check that you're changing, that's up to you and the feds. I haven't received any money, or whatever bank account you're breaking into, or whatever account you're trying to open with Con Ed, or thing with somebody else's ID. You're gonna have to deal with that. You're part of the problem. You're part of why all this economic stuff is happening to people. Because all along you have your nice little job and you're doing your little con on the side, but you got greedier and greedier and greedier, and now the whole world is messed up because of you. Yeah. Another subject. I was talking to somebody, and she's from Africa, and I'm talking about this immigration thing. You know, it's not fair that two countries or three countries is getting all the slots in the immigration pool. But they want you to forget about that. They want you to think it's a racial thing, and it's not a racial thing. It's an economical thing, and it's a fair thing. Why? Because each country has an allotted amount of people that they let in the United States, and any other country like Canada and Europe and all that stuff. But in the United States, they have an allotted amount of people each year that can come in. Why? Because you can't let the masses come in anytime they feel like it, because it's economics, because it's going to be a strain on economics. So each year they have a certain amount of people that they will let in for that year. Now, if Guatemala and Mexico get this much, meanwhile, this is the amount that they let people in. Now, if Guatemala and Mexico get this much each year, what about the rest of the countries? Like I said before, what about Africa? African people want to come here and have a better life. European people want to come in here and have a better life. Asian people want to come here and have a better life. So why two or three countries getting the same allotment, more than half each year, and everybody else got to fight for that extra 100 spot? Meanwhile, 50,000 people at the border is coming in each year, and only 100 people from each country can come in. That's not fair. That's not. That's not. It doesn't. It's not equalizing. It's not equalizing America. So people use. Excuse me. People use and say it's racism, but they don't want to say the truth because the people by the border wall is minority. They're not minorities anymore. People want to say, "Oh, he's their prejudice against minority." No, it's economics. If you go to college, you would understand social, the socio and economical stuff. So meanwhile, if somebody dares to say, "Oh, so much Guatemalans and Mexicans and I don't know what other country come through the war," only a certain amount of people, only 100 people from the war can come in because we have other countries and we have to let other countries, 100 of people in other countries come in. Oh, they're not going to tell you that. You understand? But that's what it is. That's all it is. That other countries want to come to America too. But you're not going. You don't want to hear that. You want to say racism. It's not racism. It's not fair that they get to have a whole bunch of people coming in and then other countries suffer because right now in other countries immigration has halted. Halted. They can't come because remember there's only about a certain amount of people that can come. You understand? So now they gotta divvy up that little 100 portion. Meanwhile, the war gets this much. So now they have to divvy up this much from the other countries. And everybody's fighting from the other countries to get that. But nobody want to speak up. Everybody's scared. Nobody want to speak up. Nobody hates Guatemalans or Mexicans. No. But other countries want to come here too. And she said, yeah, she said, oh, I know a couple of Africans that want to, yeah, but they halted immigration there. They're not allowed. Yeah, because y'all keep accepting this nonsense about racism. And your country is suffering. And your family and friends can't come up here. Why? Because it's a allotted amount of people that can come into the United States per year because it's going to be a financial burden on the thing. So they have to really vet these people to make sure when you come here, you can take care of yourself. But the people at the war, they want us to take care of them when they get here. They have no way of taking care of themselves. But when you come here through a plane, you have to have a certain amount of money. They check to see if the person has a bank account. You understand? That's why you're vetted. When you come through the airplane and you want to stay here and then you come here, somebody has to vouch for you. How are you going to take care of yourself? Who is going to take care of you? Blah, 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 blah. And then they note down, okay, 500 people supposed to come. Okay, now we have 300 is taken up by the people at the war, so now we only have 200 for the rest of the countries. Now that's racist. That's racist. So that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. And when she said that, she was real sad in the face. She was real sad in the face, because her peoples can't come up here because immigration has halted from her country. Nobody wants to be looked at as a racist, but it's not racism. Just because they're minorities, and they're not minorities anymore. Because even their social actors, they would say, I think 34 million or 40 something million illegal Spanish illegals is here. Illegal. So can you imagine the ones that's trying to get um, certified over there? So let's be fair to other countries. Stop crying racism when it's not racism. You have to understand, and these educated people who's protesting stuff, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to sit and think, well, yeah, she's right. 50,000 of them be getting, their political asylum. But my friend the other day from Cuba, or my friend the other day from China, or my friend the other day from whatever country couldn't get in, and their paperwork has been, put on hold because they said right now immigration has halted. Why? Because they keep letting everybody over by the wall in. So other countries are suffering. They people can't come in. For all you uneducated people. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. So it's not racism. It's just economics. And they're trying to be fair to the other countries. Because if this country and any other country let everybody in who wants to come in at that point, and our country is going in that direction, it's going to be bankrupt. And our country's going to be bankrupt soon. Why? Because some people think money is grow on trees. Some people think that they can just print money just to print money. No, it's checks and balances. You have to have enough gold and silver and things to say, okay, this is why we printed the money, because we have $50 in gold, so here's $50 in bills. But if you take that $50 and you take that and you give somebody who's getting asylum to pay their rent, to do this, to do that, and then now you got to deal with the Americans that's here, that's out of work, and you paying unemployment, and you're giving them the stipend and stuff like that. And then the other countries who let the 2 people in as opposed to the 500, you got to make sure that they take care of whatever they got to take care of. You understand? And then, you understand? Then you got to think of the tax rebates you're getting, and we get no tax rebates from the Democrats. So it's like, and I'm neither for either side. I'm just trying to explain to you. So you stop being so ignorant and thinking people hate, hate, hate. It's not all about hate. It's all about economics. That's why your pockets are dry, because they have to tax you to get more money to take care of the people they let in the country that cannot take care of themselves yet. You understand how this goes? So if they have to let this much in, and they let this much in by the wall and only this much in from the other countries, and every year it gets smaller and smaller and smaller for the other countries because of the protest. You're protesting for things you're not reading up on. All you hear is racism. So yes, you have a big heart and you want to help people, but before you protest, think of the economics. Ask questions. Well, how many people did get in last year? How many people did you make citizens or aliens last year from this group? Is there a certain amount of people that the United States let in each year? Okay, so how many in the other groups got in last year? Ask those simple questions. They're gonna be flustered because they don't want you to know that they want more Spanish people in here than any other country. Because to hell with the other countries, they just want them because they thinking, oh, votes, votes, votes. Because even though Spanish people are very religious, when they come to this country, they wanna vote Democrat. You know, so they thinking of the political aspect of it. So that's why they fighting for the to break down the border wall and stuff like that. The border wall is not, like I keep saying, it's not racist. It's economical. And then, you know, you want to beat up on the border wall patrol. They just doing their job. So think, people, all you little teenage activists and you little 20-year-olds who think you know everything. Read. Ask your professor. Ask your professor and they'll tell you. Just ask the person who's in charge of the protest. Well, how many people did they let in last year? And how many of this group got in? And that group and so and so. Yeah, ask those little questions. They're gonna be mad that you asking because if they don't, if then they're gonna have to answer. And then if they don't answer, then they hiding stuff because they know. Oh damn, how did they find out about that question? All they supposed to be concerned is that people don't want to let Spanish people in by the wall. That's all we want them to know. But it's deeper than that. So ask some question, or you white socialists, you little white socialists, because they're using you guys to get what they want. Or you little white socialists running around, with the Black Lives Matter and all these ACLUs and all these little um groups running around crying racism and break down the border wall. Ask some questions. You're going to college. Be smart. Ask some questions. Don't just take the word and ask questions. Because sooner or later, the white people's going to be extinct. And y'all fighting for that. Y'all fighting for your own demise. Just like black people fighting for their own demise. And all the women. Yep. It's not gonna be no little girl sports no more. They don't want girls to grow up with girls. What's wrong with girls growing up with girls, boys growing up with boys and certain things of the olden days is not bad. I like being a girl. And I wanna know from other girls and other adult women, you know, how to be feminine, you know, what it's like to be a girl, what you have to do when you see your period, you know. Things like that. That's what I had to do with my son. I had to ask my boy cousins and my dad, about puberty with boys. But all this asexual stuff and all this binary stuff, let them deal with that. If they want to call themselves binary or whatever, but for those of us who like to say male or female, why can't we have separate but equal? Why? Why everything gotta be mixed? Boys are very rambunctious. They need to be around other boys to let out that energy. Girls are very quiet. We need to be around other girls to get out our social life so we can be more sociable. And when we're around other girls, it brings it out of us to start talking and yapping because we're playing with our dolls and we're talking to the dolls and we're talking to each other because we're playing house and we're doing this. And then it brings out being a little girl. What's wrong with that? Don't you like being a girl or a boy? So when the child come out the womb and they're not labeled boy or girl, 18 years later, and that person commits a crime, how are the cops going to identify them? Because you so don't want them to say, well, they're black because, oh, God forbid, you say it's a black, oh, that's racial profiling. Okay, but if a black guy with short hair committed the crime and the police is identifying what the person who committed the crime looked like, how is that black profiling? How is that black profiling? If I was mugged by a black guy or a white guy and I described the person to the police and the police went on the thing and identified the person because of what I told them the person looked like, why is that black profiling? And if the police is walking past or driving past around the time of the crime looking for a black person with so and so cut with so-and-so shirt, pants, and shoes on. Why is that black profiling? What kind of shoes the person had? They had on blue Nikes with white stripes. What color shirt, ma'am? Do you remember? He had on blue shirt with white stripes. What color jeans? Black jeans. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Then they're driving around. They so happen to see somebody with the same outfit on, same look. They approach the person. Sir, can I talk to you for a few minutes? But they approach in a good way. They don't automatically think that the guy is guilty, because I was watching one and the guy was sitting down in the mall, and he fit the description of somebody because he had on the same clothes. And if he had dreads in his hair, but he was sitting down with his family, his daughter and his wife, eating. But a crime was just committed a little while ago. So the cops approached him. But they was wrong because they approached him and they handcuffed him. If they would have approached him and question him and say, "Sir, can I speak to you on the side," or whatever, and question him, and then maybe they have the rights. But if they approach him and want to put him in handcuffs and not notify him of what's going on, yeah, I can see all that, because they don't want to, think they don't want to go into doing their job properly. You understand? But it's not racial profiling when they identify somebody and they see somebody with the same clothes, same outfit, same hair, everything. It's just the approach. It's just the approach. Because you have to identify the perpetrator somehow. I'm not talking about some makeup lie, or that he did this and he did that. No, you got to question, then you got to do investigation to find out. There's cameras everywhere, so you look at the camera and see if that's the person. Not make up a lie and you and your buddies co-sign for everything and then set the person up and send them to jail. No, that's not good. But you have to profile the person. You have to racially profile the person, because it could be a white person too. But you have to tell the race, if the person can figure out if they was the race of the person. At least the color. A light skinned person with straight hair. So in their mind, it could be Spanish or white. Look out for a light skinned Caucasian male with dark blonde hair and white t-shirt. You have to profile them. So it's not everything you should be jumping on the bandwagon for. Ask questions. Stop being so angry. Thank you for trying to help, black people. I do appreciate that. Thank you for trying to help gay people. I appreciate it. Thank you for trying to help Spanish people. I appreciate it. But ask questions. Ask questions. Be smart, smart. And most of these people who be protesting is people who don't want to. They go into these areas like I forget these places that these nomads be moving into, and because they don't want to work, they don't want to work, and they white too. They don't want to work for the man, and they don't want to have no social interaction, except they want to skateboard, smoke weed, get high, whatever. They ran away from home at a young age because their parent told them to do certain things. So now, they mad at society and stuff. So they go, some of these protesters are nomads. So they mad at the public setup. People who want to work for a living, people who own companies, they're mad at that. The bureaucrats, they mad at that because they don't hold no jobs or nothing. So they go get these young white folks who don't have no aim in life or whatever to protest. And they go to these little towns and these little states and get them out of these states to protest. These nomads. Yep. Do your research. Half of these young white kids you see protesting for Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, they're nomads. Half of them don't have a job. They have no aim in life, nothing. They just mad at the whole world. Why should I have to work to get somewhere to live? Yeah, since day one. They don't want to do that. They don't want to conform. They want everything for free. They want to live in a socialist world where it's for, well, even, let me tell you, socialist world is not free. Somebody pays. That's the kind of world they want to live in, a socialist world. So that's why they out there protesting. So some of these people, oh, look at the white people protesting. No, most of them are nomads. They don't want to conform to nothing. They don't want to pay no taxes, but they want everything for free. They want somewhere to live for free. They want food for free. Oh, well, we should get this for free. It's our right. Okay, get a job, pay some taxes, and maybe you will get it when you retire. Put into the system, put into Social Security and pay. Do something. They don't want to do none of that. So don't get afraid when you see a whole bunch of people protesting and whatever. Don't get afraid. Check out where they get these people from. Check out who these people are. Nomads. All right? Have a good day.